Dan Muller's Illinois State Redbirds have their first 3-game winning streak of the season, and tonight they have their eyes on an early Christmas present as they gear up to host nationally ranked Dayton. Stay tuned, the Redbirds and Flyers are up next. Things are hardly normal tonight in Normal, where for just the third time since 1999, Illinois State plays host to a nationally ranked non-conference opponent as the 25th ranked Dayton Flyers pay a visit to Illinois State. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Illinois State basketball here on Comcast Sportsnet Chicago, alongside former Redbird assistant coach Bob Morris. I'm Kurt Pegler, and you know, Bob, last summer when Dan Muller was hired, one of the first things he said he wanted to do was strengthen Illinois State's schedule, and here we are a month into this season, and this is the second nationally ranked foe on the Redbirds' slate.
That's exactly what Coach Muller wanted to do, and that's exactly what he has been able to accomplish. The goal for the staff is that this upgrade in schedule will mean more wins when it comes conference time, and it looks like the Birds are progressing towards improvement, and that's the goal.
Well, let's talk about the Dayton Flyers. At 7-1, they have an Ohio State transfer in Jordan Seibert, who was not in uniform when these two teams met a year ago.
No, he wasn't. He was not in, he was in street clothes, sitting on the end of the bench watching the Redbirds come out with a 1-point victory in Dayton.
And he's been very good so far this year. Meanwhile, Paris Lee, a freshman for the Redbirds, is making some serious contributions in his first month on campus.
Well, the highly touted freshman who did a great job in high school at Proviso East, leading them to the state finals 2 years in a row, has come down here and brought those talents and those leadership skills to the Redbirds. Not many freshmen get to start right away in their careers. This young man has earned it. He's doing a great job with his leadership, and that leadership has led to 3 straight wins for the Birds.
The 4-4 Redbirds get set to take on 7-1 and nationally ranked Dayton. Stay tuned. The starting lineups in the opening tip up next on Comcast Sportsnet Chicago. Let's take a look at the starters for tonight's games, brought to you by your local Ford stores. Dayton, long, lean, athletic, multiple scoring options in that starting 5. Kari Price, the point guard, and Jordan Seibert, the transfer from Ohio State, the best perimeter shooters. On Illinois State's side, we mentioned that Paris Lee is just a freshman. Really a new team with Deshaun Knight and Bobby Hunter, Nick Zeidloff, really the only guy in that starting 5 that has any sort of college basketball experience, and he was a reserve player a year ago.
Exactly. That's all that he was basically a role player. Yeah.
Starting lineups today brought to you by your local Ford stores. Visit localfordstores.com. Check out Ford's full line of vehicles that are leading by example. Ford, go further. The Redbirds come out in their home whites with red lettering and red trim. Dayton Flyers, 25th ranked team in the country. Road red uniforms, white trim, white lettering. 7-1 Dayton, 4-4 Illinois State. We mentioned just the third time since 1999 that a nationally ranked non-conference opponent is here at Redbird Arena to take on Illinois State. And the Redbirds control the opening tip, and we're underway here in Normal. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris, our Niles Media Sports team with you. Glad you're alongside on a chilly night in central Illinois. Here's Knight knocking down the first shot of the game.
That'll warm things up just like the steel will also.
It's Bobby Hunter doing the trick, and in the first 18 seconds, the Redbirds have 4 points.
Paris Lee denied the inbounds pass. The individual taking it out didn't notice it till it was too late, and he laid the inbounds up for grab. Redbirds couldn't have written the script any better. Great start. Explosive beginning gets the crowd into the game.
And the Redbirds in a zone to open the game.
2-3 zone that they do a few wrinkles out of it, depending on the opponent and the strengths of the opponent.
Flyers turn the ball over, in and out of the hands of Matt Cavanaugh.
And conversely, on the opposite end, Dayton will be in a man-to-man practically the entire game. That's what Coach Archie Miller loves to do, and that's what the Flyers are doing all season and with great success.
There's John Jones with his first touch of the game. Backs in on Cavanaugh, but can't complete it.
A little excited right there. Went a little long on that. Threw that completely over the rim.
Oliver works baseline, draws contact, first foul of the game.
That's a matchup down in the bottom part of that zone that the Birds are going to struggle with, I think. If they're going to struggle out of the zone, that's where they're going to struggle, is when Zeisloff has to cut off baseline from a penetrating dribbler. He's going to have to work at it, Kurt. That's a hard assignment for him.
Oliver, one of just 3 seniors on this Dayton roster, so they're nationally ranked, and they're relatively young when you look at it that way.
They've played a very challenging schedule themselves this year.
Oliver the miss, cleared by Illinois State.
Flyers were out in the Maui Classic, and that's where they made a name. Oh, great inlet pass right there. Great pass.
John Jones, the catch off the feet from Hunter. The Redbirds are out to a 6-0 lead, and Archie Miller wants timeout. Redbird faithful on their feet.
30-second timeout.
We'll watch this right here. We see Jones does a great job of sealing the man once he takes the high side on the defense. Hunter does a better job of entering the ball over top of the defense to where the side had been cleared. Easy lay-in for Jones. Great start for the Redbirds.
No question, the start that Illinois State wanted. Get the crowd involved and jump out to an early lead. You mentioned the success that Dayton had at the Maui Invitational, beat the 10th ranked team in the country, Gonzaga, and had Baylor really on the ropes, another nationally ranked team, a top 20 team. Ironically, Dayton trailed Gonzaga by 16 and won that game, but led Baylor by 14 and lost that game.
Yeah, they did. And then they came back and trounced, I believe it was by 20, over Cal in their third place game at Maui.
Pierre, tough shot. He's going to get to the free throw line. Again, a very athletic team that is so quick and great off the dribble.
Well, and they're deep. You know, that athleticism doesn't stop with just a handful of players. They go 9-10 deep, and every one of them are extremely athletic. They're interchangeable in parts for many places.
Well, let's talk about what you think the keys to tonight's game are, Bob.
Well, because Dayton is such an explosive offensive squad, the keys for ISU is going to be on the defensive end. They have to box out and rebound and not give Dayton any second chance points. The Redbirds have to play good transition defense and not give any easy buckets up to the Flyers. And then the Redbirds have to defend the ball screen well once they set Dayton up in half-court offense. Those three things are key.
Reggie Lynch, the 6'10 freshman from Minnesota, is in the game for Illinois State.
That young man has been a spark plug every time he's entered the game this year.
He had a 14-point effort in Illinois State's win over Chicago State on Wednesday night here at Redbird Arena.
It's the manner with which he does it also. He's not... What he has accomplished comes within the confines of the offense. He's not trying to do things that are out of his capabilities.
Flyers trying to take advantage of a turnover by the Redbirds. Good spin move, but Pierre couldn't finish. Offensive rebound, got it back, and he's going to get back to the free throw line.
There's the athleticism we just previously talked about. He got around Lynch on the first initial move, but missed the shot. Lynch was able to alter the shot enough that he couldn't make it, but he was athletic enough to get on the other side of the rim and secure his own rebound for the putback and drew the foul, as we see right here. He goes up, misses, gets his own rebound, and draws the foul.
Deshaun Pierre is from Ontario, Anderson Collegiate Vocational Institute. And just like the Redbirds have Kaysa Keene, who played with a Canadian junior national team, so did Pierre. Represented Canada, in fact, in the under-17 team and the under-19 team in the World Championships in his career. He has all the Flyers' points here in the first 3 minutes from the foul line.
Yeah, they have yet to put a field goal on the board. Redbirds off to a good start, not only in the offensive end, but the defensive, obviously. Beginning of the season, Redbirds opened up at VCU. It was a tough road game, and they played like an inexperienced team on the road for the first time. Tonight, they're playing a top 25 team. They appear to me, Kurt, with the way they've begun this game, that the fear of playing a top 25 team does not intimidate them. You see Lynch right here, staying with it. Throws it up, gets it blocked, gets it back, spins, draws the foul, goes to the line. That young man has got what I believe a tremendous upside to his career.
Well, you mentioned the spark that he has given the Redbirds off the bench, and during Illinois State's current 3-game winning streak, he's averaged just under 9 points a game, and he shot at 75% from the floor in this 3-game winning streak.
He's one of those quiet leaders when he comes in. The players respond and respect him. He's not a rah-rah kind of performer, but they listen when he speaks. Redbirds staying with the 2-3 zone.
Oliver penetrates and kicks out.
Great help right there. Great help by the up pair.
Price, 3, no good. Another offensive rebound by Pierre. He's been very active on the glass. Dangerous pass, but the Flyers maintain possession. Now Pierre again. This time his shot is short, and it's corralled by Lynch.
There's the freshman doing what he does, just being in the right place.
Stolen away by Price.
Ill-advised pass right there.
He goes right around the Redbirds and scoops it in. First field goal of the game for Dayton.
Against a team this athletic, to throw the cross-court pass that length, you're not going to get away with it. This team knows how to play transitional defense, and they're matching up when they go back. Long passes will get intercepted.
It's Knight. His 3 is missed. Oliver clears it. Back comes Dayton. It's an 8-4 Illinois State lead. Opening minutes of this one. Pierre spins on Lynch. Ball was stripped by Lofton. He got it back and he put it up and missed it. Tipped up by Kavanaugh. Couldn't finish.
Good work by the Flyers on the second attempt there, but they couldn't get it to go down. Good work by the Redbirds to deny them.
This is Knight off the feet from Wills, who just checked in the game.
Great penetration right there by Wills to create the attention of the defense. They ignored Knight. Wills dished it off. Easy lay-in. The Redbird zone has been so active, it has really flustered until I said that.
That's right, and then the Flyers did a great job of breaking it with a pass, and it's going to be a 3-point opportunity for Kavanaugh when we come back. Good start for Illinois State. The Redbirds lead 25th ranked Dayton 10-6, 5 minutes and 5 seconds into this one. The initial moments of this one, as Illinois State has a 10-6 lead over number 25 Dayton here at Redbird Arena.
Well, one of the things early that jumps out at me at the off the stat sheet is the fact that ISU has 4 field goals at this point, coming off of 3 assists. That's good early ball movement, finding the open people. You only get that when the ball moves and people without the ball move. When that happens, somebody's going to get open.
Yeah, Kavanaugh to try to complete the 3-point play. Like Seibert, Kavanaugh did not play when these two teams met a year ago, and Dayton sat last season out. Dayton leads the all-time series 4-2 against the Redbirds, but again, Illinois State a 74-73 nail-biter in a win last year at Dayton. But 2 completely different teams this time around. Kaysa Keene in the game for the first time for Illinois State. He wears number 0. And there are 3 Flyers ready to check in at the next break. Lofton missed it.
Got the penetration, but then was on his way down when it came time for the shot.
Seibert draws contact, and he's going to go to the free throw line. This team is so athletic. Dayton loves to get up and down and score in transition.
Well, exactly, and that's one of the things I brought up as a key was transition defense. You have to get back. You have to stop the ball. You have to make them come back out and run half-court offense.
At the line for Dayton, number 24, Seibert.
And here's Seibert, the Cincinnati native, recruited by Ohio State's. The Buckeyes have played on that Final Four team at Ohio State, the 2011-2012 team. He played in 24 games for Thad Matta, but really just got lost in the shuffle in the minutes and the numbers game, and has transferred to Dayton. Sat out last year and has been a big plus for the Flyers to start this season. 13.6 points a game and shooting better than 50% from beyond the arc. How about that? 53% three-point shooting.
Who does that?
Nobody.
That's incredible. Hit a game-winning shot first game of the season also. Hit a three-pointer to get a team win by 1 point.
Good drive to the basket and score for Knight. He's got 6 points for the Redbirds.
Great ball movement. They reversed it twice and got the wide open lane.
Good pressure by the Redbirds, and Smith turned it over.
Out of the timeout. That's the first defensive time we've seen. All right, here, let's take a quick look. There's that ball reversal, quick slice to the bucket. Great job by the Birds. Finish my thought, Kurt. The Birds came out of the timeout and changed defenses on the first possession to a three-quarter court 2-2-1 look. The Flyers didn't react, turned it over.
Dayton with 4 turnovers, so that Redbird D has caused 4 Dayton turnovers here in the opening 6 minutes.
There's an energy to the Redbirds that I haven't seen this season. They're playing with a purpose, with a confidence that I haven't seen this year.
V. Sanford, the Georgetown transfer, missed that shot. King goes behind the back and a kick out. Lofton. He'll catch and shoot, and nailed a 3.
He might have one of the quickest releases in the country. When he catches the ball, and from the time he catches it to releasing it, you can't defend it.
First 3-point make of the night for the Redbirds. Seibert off the glass and in.
He knows how to score. He's not just a shooter. He can spot up and shoot threes. And as we just saw, he can penetrate and make lay-ins. Game has a good atmosphere to it, doesn't it, Kurt? The crowd's into the game.
Absolutely.
Both squads are into the game.
Tough shot for Lofton. He's got some free throws coming.
Again, that's basketball intelligence, Kurt. It's a tough shot, but he knew he was going to draw the foul because of who switched on him. When you get a post player on a perimeter player, you go into them with the way they're making the calls of this season, and you're going to get the call every time and go to the line.
Lofton, a transfer from San Jacinto College in Texas. He's originally from St. Paul, Minnesota. And a lot is really expected of this guy. And the Redbirds are trying to get everybody to kind of, hey, you know, he's a young ball player, but certainly he's got a very high ceiling.
Oh, does he ever? I've been able to watch a few practices this season. And, you know, in a relaxed atmosphere of a practice scenario where they're working on things, I've seen him do things that you shake your head and go, wow. The kid is unbelievably skilled.
Sanford was stripped, but he got it back. Ball is back and forth, and now it's Kazakeen. Tries to beat everybody down, had a shot blocked. Athletic play by Kyle Davis.
We talked about their speed and athleticism. We just witnessed it right then. What a well-coached, good disciplined team Dayton Flyers are. They had a turnover and had 3 people back to contend a shot.
Davis missed the 3, and that could be an over the back, and it will be.
Good job by Jones to have possession on the rebound.
Foul's going to be on Kendall Pollard, and we've got a timeout. Illinois State 16 and Dayton 10 here at Redbird Arena in Normal. Bird and company throwing the T-shirts, getting the crowd wound up. Great atmosphere here in the first 8 minutes of this one, and the Redbirds have a 16-10 lead over Dayton.
The people that are here tonight are having a good time. They're enjoying it. It's a great atmosphere, and it's an outstanding basketball game at this point, particularly if you're a Redbird fan. People that didn't come out, you need to. Get here and enjoy these Redbirds. They're fun to watch.
Lynch's pass is picked off. It's Kendall Pollard, the freshman from Chicago, all the way down, and it's going to score it. And they're going to call it in, and a 3-point opportunity for Pollard.
Right there, we saw Reggie Lynch be a freshman. He got the ball on the high spot. His intentions was to reverse the ball, but he wasn't strong with the pass. He's not used to the strength and the athleticism that steps up against him. Pollard, a freshman out of Chicago Simeon, took it away from him. Went the length of the floor, made it, drew the foul.
If your Redbirds number 12, Tommy Wills.
All Kendall Pollard did in high school was win a bunch of championships.
Oh my, yeah. Holy smokes. What didn't Simeon accomplish? While he was there anyway.
Played with Jabari Parker, the number 2 ranked prospect in the country a year ago. Of course, Parker now playing at Duke. Jalen Tate and Kendrick Nunn, a couple of his high school teammates playing at the University of Illinois, so that roster was loaded with D1 talent. Lofton the miss. Loose ball is corralled by Dayton. This is Smith. His pull-up is in. Good rhythm jump shot by Scoochie Smith.
Exactly. I mean, it just took a moment that nobody defended him, and boom, into his shot and made it. You have to know where they're at. You've got to understand the personnel in the situation.
Keene flipped it up, worked the baseline, but couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound and stick back for Reggie Lynch.
Reggie Lynch. That's going to be a name, I think, that's going to go down in the archives of Redbird basketball. He is very, very active when he's on the floor.
4 points for the freshman, and the lead back to 4. Pollard again.
Late whistle. Late whistle. But it goes against the Redbirds. Fans are not a fan of it by any means. Here we see it on replay.
That's his first.
Well, I tell you what got the foul, whether there was contact or not. Reggie Lynch brought his arm down. When you bring your arm down in an attempt to block a shot, it's an automatic whistle. It's going to happen. Whether you make contact, you'll have to be disciplined. Move your feet. That is the emphasis in basketball again. That's the way basketball was meant to be played. Don't bar your man with your forearm. Don't swing at him to try to move your feet. Get there and play basketball the way it's meant to be played. If not, you're going to spend a lot of time in foul trouble sitting on the bench.
Jerry Pollard, Roland Simmons, and John Moore, by the way, are the officials working tonight's game. Neither of those free throws go in, so Dayton can't take advantage of the free throws, and it's still a 4-point Illinois State advantage. Wills kick out. Here's Hunter left open. His three is in.
Great setup by Tony Wills. Through 3 defenders, kicked it out to a wide open Bobby Hunter, who drained it.
Hunter's first 3-point make of the game.
And there's Wills active again. Now let's watch as we see Hunter make this. It's set up here by Tony Wills. Drives, draws, and dishes, as they say. And boom. That's basketball at its finest.
In for Dayton, number 0, Price. Number 5, Oliver. And number 21,
Hunter is one of those guys that you can really just look at him and you know whether he's in a good mood or not, because he just wears it on his vest, doesn't he?
He does. And he's a fun young man. To be around him he smiles a lot, because I've had the privilege of being at practice, and he makes a day fun. He'd be the kind of guy you'd want to hang with, Kurt.
Yeah, when you say you know if he's in a good mood or not, he's almost always in a good mood.
Yeah.
Nice passing and an easy lay-in that time for Devin Scott.
That time out of the half-court set, Dayton was patient, and they got the ball to the high post, which is the open area against the 2-3, and they went high-low. The high post dropped her down on a bounce pass to the low post.
Harris Lee's 3 is missed and cleared by Oliver.
Too quick. Didn't need that shot at that point in time.
Price works baseline. A lot of contact there, but no foul call. Instead, it's just out of bounds to Dayton.
There was contact, but again, as I made the point earlier, Jones was there. The contact came from the fact that the offensive man ran into it. We see it on replay. Boom. Get that out of here, John Jones said. Now you see that right now the Birds are making a better emphasis of keeping the ball out of the high post area. 3 seconds. They wanted it in the post. He was posting up to get it down low. And because the Birds were defending the way they were, they couldn't get it to him. But he didn't give up his position, and they drew a 3-second count on it.
That's Dayton's 6th turnover in the first 11 minutes of this basketball game.
Dayton Flyers are not used to doing that.
Lob down low to Jones, cut it under the basket, worked his way out, tried to flip it up. He was really too far underneath.
Yes, it was. The pass took him under the backboard, and he should have kicked it back out and reset, tried another one. It was early in the shot clock again. They had time. Tried to make something out of nothing. That time didn't work.
The Redbirds have had a little success with that lob pass down low, Bob.
That they have, no question.
Fans wanted to travel, not going to get it.
No, they're not, because there was no possession.
And another travel that time they got it. Didn't get the travel in front of the Redbird bench, but instead got it on Pierre in the lane.
You can see how much the Dayton offense relies on getting the ball to the high post when they have to run half-court offense out of their zone offense.
Archie Miller trying to get his team going in the right direction. The Redbirds have controlled the tempo of this one.
No question, and that's something that not many people do against the Flyers. Well, there's a lot of contact down low in there without the ball. Not a game for the weak. Good patience, and they drew the armbar foul.
Devin Scott's going to be whistled for that one. A foul on him as we step away. 7:52 to go in the opening half. Illinois State 21, Dayton 16 here in Normal. Has coached with Thad Mata at Ohio State, has coached with his brother Sean Miller at Arizona. Nice pedigree, and now the head coach here at Dayton.
He has quite the impressive resume, no question. I'll go one step further. Hometown, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. Who's the most famous athlete other than Archie Miller to come out of there? You know the answer. Who is it?
I think I do. I think it's Joe Namath.
Joe Willie, that's right. Oh, goodness. To call that a foul is almost a crime in a game that's had this much contact inside. Two guys going hard for a rebound.
Well, the foul's going to be on John Jones, and Dayton is going to be in the bonus now.
That's 2 fouls on Jones and 2 fouls on Lynch. That's one thing the Redbirds really don't need to have happen. That has, with 7:48 left, that's a lot of fouls already on their 2 premier inside players.
So it's Devin Oliver to the free throw line.
Jamal Samuels comes in for Jones because of the foul trouble with Lynch.
The Flyers have already shot 11 free throws here in this half.
And like I said, a lot of time left. When you attack and attack and attack, whether or not a transition or half court, you go to the foul line a lot. Particularly this season with the way the fouls and the officiating with the fouls are happening.
Oliver on the board now with those free throws. It's a 3-point Illinois State advantage.
You also have to expect the fact that you're playing a top 25 team in the nation. Then you better expect that they're going to know how to fight back once you knock them in the nose once.
Jamal Samuel off the bench and in the scorebook knocks down a 3, just his second 3-point make of the season. He's only attempted 4 from beyond the arc.
Does it get any better than that if you're Jamal Samuels? You're in the game 10 seconds. You knock down a 3. It is so impressive how active this zone is for the Redbirds.
Another look at Samuel. You mentioned it. This is a guy that really hasn't spotted up and shot the 3 much. He only has 2 points in the 21 minutes that he's played since the opener. He had 9 points on opening night against Virginia Commonwealth, but really hasn't been much in the mix since.
Well, there was probably a reason that he was that wide open, according to the scouting report. Who is that guy? Let him shoot, and he did.
Spin
and the travel.
And you're right. Jalen Robinson was hoping to draw contact and get to the free throw line, but turned it over.
Trying to do a little quick for a big man. We see it right here. Boom, 1, 2, 3. He's dancing. Dancing with the stars do not make you a basketball player.
Hunter penetrates, flipped it up, couldn't get it to go.
Kind of forced it, put his head down, put his shoulder down and kind of forced the snare. Kick out might have been a better plan of action.
Seibert's 3, missed.
The other thing the Redbirds are doing so very well right now out of that zone is they're blocking out.
Contact, and it could be a 3-point play. I think the officials are going to have a little powwow to see if it's going to be a continuation, and it is.
Now we'll see right here. This is the athleticism I was talking earlier about with Zach Lofton. He gave a little stutter step at about the 15-foot mark. Boom, got the defender to just rise up enough, and then he exploded, drew the contact, put a nice soft touch off the glass and in. This young man has so much potential. If he ever corrals it all, puts it into the confines of this Coach Muller's offense, he could do something special here as a Redbird basketballer.
Well, he averaged better than 17 points a game in junior college last year. He knows how to score. Here, nice move, work the baseline.
Well, I'm telling you, the Dayton Flyers are such a reflection of Coach Archie Miller. They're disciplined, they're sound, they're fundamentally smart.
Samuel's going to try another three. Long rebound. Keza Keene comes down with it. And he scores. So that was the post player shooting a three and the point guard getting the rebound and scoring in the paint.
Exactly. I think that was called offense by accident. The crowd is going crazy in Redbird Arena. The crowd is truly into this game. What a fun environment.
Redbird's enjoying their largest lead of the game at 9. That foul is on Samuel, so it'll be Seibert to the free throw line.
What the Redbirds have been able to accomplish out of this, their zone, is they're so active. They've truly got the Dayton Flyers going faster than they want to be. And when you go fast, you're out of control. If you go quick, that's another story. But if you go fast, then you're not in control and can't react to what the defense throws at you. And that's exactly what's happening. They're not reacting well to the Redbird defense right now.
Dan Muller, a former Illinois State star and a 12-year assistant under Kevin Stallings at Vanderbilt. You've got two head coaches here, Bob, tonight in their 30s. Muller's 37, Archie Miller's 34.
Well, they've earned it. They deserve it, they've earned it, and they're both taking advantage of it, doing things properly.
Lofton just traveled.
He's pleading, but I don't think he's going to win this one. That's not going to go here. Now, what Zach Lofton has got to learn to do right now, turn the page. That play's over. Now you're on defense. You can't let your offensive woes create defensive errors.
And the fouls are starting to pile up on the Redbirds. Bobby Hunter whistled for that one. Dan Muller having a very animated conversation with Jerry Pollard there.
And Dayton only has 5 fouls in a game that is so hotly contested. Kind of something to just take note of.
Scoochie Smith, one of the great names in college basketball, right? Scoochie from New York.
Gotta love it, don't you?
Into the game for
help me out, Kurt. I can't see the stat sheet. How many free throws made do the Flyers have?
Right now, the Flyers are 9 of 15 from the foul line.
Out of 23 points, they've got 9 from the line. Make that 10 as Scoochie drills the second one for the 24th point for the Flyers.
Dayton has stolen a little bit of that momentum back from the Redbirds here. They've scored 4 in a row, cut the lead down to 5. Deshaun Knight, and a three-point opportunity.
What a strong move to the basket by Deshaun Knight. We got this one on replay. I love it. Here he comes hard with his left hand, feels the contact, and when it's a secondary defender, anytime there's contact, it's an automatic foul. But the point that I love is he was strong enough to finish and then go to the line for the three-point play. And he does. Outstanding individual effort right then by number 3, Deshaun Knight.
Knight, the game's leading scorer, now with 9 points.
The Redbirds are practically daring the Flyers to shoot the three, and Scoochie says, thank you.
Smith knocks it down. I think the Redbird scouting report would say that the guy that shoots it from beyond the arc better is Kari Price, but it's Smith that's been doing some of the damage from the perimeter. He's got 7 points. Knight.
Nope.
Didn't get that one. Ball is tipped out and controlled by the Flyers.
Matt Cavanaugh kept that ball alive.
Smith to Cavanaugh.
Now that's the kind of thing that the Birds have to prevent. Cavanaugh beat the Redbirds back, so he got the dish back and the put down.
And Lofton's going to get some free throws when we come back. Officials timeout. 3:40 to go here opening half. The Redbirds lead the Flyers by 3. Illinois State had all kinds of trouble out of the gate on Wednesday. It took them about 6 minutes before the Redbirds finally got in the score column, but it's been a very active first half of the Redbird offense and a 32-29 lead with still 3:40 to go.
Well, Kirk, can you imagine what the point of emphasis has been the last couple of days in practice? As you mentioned, it was a very slow start. I believe it was practically 4.5 minutes into the game. In the previous game before ISU got a field goal. That's not been the case tonight. They've heard enough of it in practice about starting strong and staying strong. Now it becomes with 3:40 left in the half, with Lynch and Jones on the bench with 2 fouls apiece, they have to finish strong this half to carry the momentum to the locker room. One of the ways to do it is to do just what Zach Lofton is. Get to the foul line. Get to the foul line. Attack the rim. Get to the foul line.
Makes good on both of his free throws. A 5-point Illinois State advantage now.
Little pressure after the timeout once again by the Redbirds. Just to slow down that attack. Make the Flyers run half-court offense. Good hands by the defense.
And another turnover. The Redbirds are going to get it back.
That was Zach Lofton. He got his busy hands in there before Kavanaugh could claim possession of the ball. Lofton had it, knocked it off of Kavanaugh. Redbird ball.
Clearly the best defensive effort the Redbirds have had this year.
No question. And against a top 25 team. This game, if it continues, could go a long ways to building a positive future for the Redbirds.
Harris Lee from the corner. That three is in.
Again, penetration by Zach Lofton and a kick out to a wide open Paris Lee. Zach Lofton hit 2 free throws, created a turnover, and got an assist, all in the last 3 possessions. He's taken over the game like the young man's abilities should allow him to.
Smith, he's had the hot hand. Misses from the perimeter. Ball's out of bounds, and it's going to be Dayton's.
That missed 3-pointer right there by Scoochie Smith makes the Flyers 1 for 8 from 3-point. That's why the Redbirds are in the zone, sagged back a bit.
That's Sanford, nice move. Couldn't finish. Keene high up to get the rebound.
Great rebounding blockouts right there.
Keene lost it on the floor. It's he and Davis fighting for the loose ball.
The tie-up will go to Dayton. Keene went 1 dribble too far on his penetration. He needed to pull up 1 dribble sooner and kick it out. He had nothing going. And when you got nothing going and there's no daylight at the end of the tunnel, you know it's not going to be a good ending.
2.5 minutes left in this opening half. Very entertaining opening half.
Oh my, has it been? This has been awesome. A lot of fun to sit and watch. If you're a basketball fan, you're enjoying this no matter who you're rooting for. And if you're a Redbird fan, you're really enjoying it.
Eight on the shot clock, and a steal by Wills.
He just picked his pocket and drew the foul. Who was that made the penetration down here for Dayton? Kirk, could you see it? I missed.
It was Kyle Davis.
It was Davis, and Wills is Wills. I think we got it right here. Wills just goes, "Thank you. I'll take that. We're going the other way." And Davis compounds these problems in. Turnover turns into a foul also. Great hands by Tony Wills. Good contribution from the ISU bench tonight. They have outscored the Dayton bench 18-11 at this point. And if Wills contributes here, it'll be more.
And the Dayton bench has been one of the Flyers' strong points this year. You know, they're playing 10 players, so you've got 5 of those non-starters piling up points going to your bench points. So you're right. For the Redbird bench to outscore this team is very impressive. Under 2 minutes left now, opening half. Pierre missed that one badly.
Well, you're being kind. I think there's a crack in the backboard.
On the other end, it's Deshaun Knight.
Deshaun Knight is lighting it up in here. The crowd is going crazy. Listen to those fans.
Knight in double figures now with 11, the first player in double figures. Illinois State on a 7-0 run and a 10-point lead, largest of the game. Sanford, big three. Boy, Dayton needed something. And they get a three from a guy who shoots it at 40% from the three-point arc. Just the second three-point make of the game for the Flyers, who are 2 of 10 now from downtown. As we approach the final half minute here of the half. Samuel, again a three. He's 1 out of 3 from beyond the arc here tonight. And now the shot clock is off, and the Flyers will have the final possession, likely, of the half.
Yes, I am.
Sanford floats, misses it. Redbirds have a chance now. Lofton with 2 on the clock. He fires a three. Couldn't get it to go, and the half is over. And Illinois State has a 7-point halftime lead heading to the locker room. And now Bob Morris is standing by with ISU head coach Dan Muller.
Coach, one of the issues you've had is your team coming out slow at the beginning of the game. Obviously, that was not the case tonight. How did you get them ready like this?
Well, again, Dayton Knight really made some big plays early, and I think they're just ready to graduate to what we got right here. But it's only a half. We got a big second half here. We got to keep competing at a high level.
Extremely active on the defensive end and the rebounds. You got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, really paid attention to the scouting report. We're boxing out hard, and we can be hard to guard on the offensive end. We've actually missed some shots we'll make, but we just got to keep competing.
And what's your focus going to be at the halftime?
Well, other than continue to do what we're doing, we got to clean up some things on the offensive end. We got the ball going around the perimeter a little too much, and I think we can take advantage of some things.
Coach, good start. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back in the second half, and after these words, stay tuned for more Redbird basketball.
Ladies and gentlemen, to start off your halftime entertainment.
Time now for the Casey's General Store keys to the second half. Bob, looking at today's matchup and what we saw in the opening half, what do the Redbirds need to do to come away with a victory here in the second 20 minutes?
Well, I think we need to continue focusing on the same 3 things that we brought out at the beginning. Box out and rebound. Early in the game, the Redbirds did not do quite as good a job as they did the last 15 minutes. They did that, and I think it transcended into success for the Birds. Transitional defense. Again, early in the game, Dayton got out and got a few breakaways. They got 6 fast break points to the Redbirds 0. That's not an overwhelming number, but it's got to continue at no more than that. And then the ball screen defense by the Redbirds against the half-court offense, I think that's important. The Birds have done a very good job of the ball screen defense.
Bob's Keys to the Half brought to you by Casey's General Store. This month at Casey's, pick up a large, made-from-scratch taco pizza for just $13.99. Casey's, famous for pizza. 20 minutes of action left to play here at Redbird Arena, and our second half is underway. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris, our Niles Media Sports team with you at Redbird Arena in Normal, where Illinois State has a 7-point lead over the 25th ranked team in the country, and the ball to start the second half, and how about a 3 to open the second half from Dayton Knight.
Dayton Knight was hot the first half. He had 11 points, 5 of 8 shooting.
Defensive timeout.
They ran a screen right there, double screen, I should say, to get him a pop out at the top of the key. Boom. He answered.
14 points now for Dayton Knight.
That's a key possession for the Redbirds, I think, offensively. Carry momentum into the second half, early into the second half. Let the Flyers know they're in for a dogfight.
And the Flyers turned it over.
The call was made on an out-of-bounds play right there. And you see Jerry Pollard, the head of lead official tonight, did not like it. Oliver handed him the ball, but obviously had a word or two for him that Mr. Pollard didn't appreciate. He stopped the game, went over and talked to him. That's good officiating, Kurt. Get the young man to understand that's not what you need to do to play basketball. Just play the game.
Knight, floater. That's not going to draw iron.
Well, that wasn't a shot. Reggie Lynch took his eye off the ball thinking it was going to be. It was a pass for Reggie Lynch. He wasn't. They weren't on the same page, obviously. That was an alley with no oop.
Redbirds with a small lineup on the floor with Paris Lee, Bobby Hunter, Dayshawn Knight, all real small guards.
That's one way you can counteract the athleticism of the Flyers. But it also hurts you on this aspect.
Reggie Lynch there to alter that shot. He's back on the floor after having 2 first-half fouls. Hunter the miss on the three-pointer.
Well, you get a couple. That's wide open. That's a good look. Good. I like that. I like that shot. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not. I liked it in that moment. When you got the lead and momentum, you're up 10. That's when you can try a few transitional three-pointers. They can be daggers.
Oliver left open. His three from the top of the circle is good. And Archie Miller calls timeout. And so we'll step aside. We're 90 seconds into this second half, and the Redbirds lead the Flyers of Dayton 42-35. Get a fan's perspective here at Redbird Arena, where the student section has been loud and proud tonight. They're burning off a little steam before final exams this week, and they've had a lot to cheer about as Illinois State has a 42-35 advantage over the 25th ranked team in the country, Dayton.
They've got a student group called the Red Alert that comes out to the basketball games, and they just make it fun for everyone.
You like that timeout from Archie Miller there here in the first 90 seconds of the second half.
Well, they hit a big three right there, and it kind of just slowed the pace of the game down after a successful offensive possession by the Flyers. And when he did that, then now he was able to kind of get back into his kids' heads and say, all right, this is what we need to do. And did you ever think that we would say the Flyers need to slow down and start playing their pace rather than speed up to play the Redbirds' pace?
Great entry pass there, Paris Lee to Hunter, who was working the baseline, and Hunter gets fouled, and he's going to get to the free throw line.
Paris Lee was our lead-in player of the game tonight, and we spotlighted him for a reason. Right there, you saw what I consider a big-time pass by a freshman. To recognize that, that pass not only led to a scoring opportunity at the free throw line for Bobby Hunter, but it put a young man on the bench for Dayton because of foul scenario. Great situation.
Foul's going to be on Nick Zeisloff there, it looks like.
His third. Looked like a loose ball they were fighting for. Nick didn't agree. Got to turn the page, move on. No matter what, the call was made. Play the game.
Zeisloff is really a true guard, but being forced to play forward these days. A small Illinois State lineup. It's going to be free throw time now for Jordan Seibert.
Again, attack, attack, attack. That's what the Flyers believe in. They get their opponent in foul trouble by doing that. They go to the free throw line on a regular basis by doing it. We've seen it up to this point. They rely on it exclusively.
Well, that foul on John Jones is his third, and so Reggie Lynch is going to check in now for Jones. Lynch and Jones each with 2 fouls in the first half. Sat most of that first half with foul trouble, and so Jones can only make it about 2 minutes into the second half before he picked up his third.
Lynch only played 4 minutes in the first half. Now, it was a productive 4 minutes because he had 4 points and 3 rebounds.
Seibert's second free throw rolls off. And we got another whistle and another foul.
A fight for a loose ball rebound after a missed free throw goes against Dayton. A minute ago, it went against the Redbirds.
That's his third, team second.
And now we're seeing some full court pressure from Dayton.
Not much of a problem to the Redbirds. They've got so many perimeter players that can handle the ball this year. Not something they've had the luxury of in years past.
Good hands and a steal. Sanford that time comes down with it, and another whistle, and that was going to go against Illinois State.
Lackadaisical pass right there. Just lost concentration for a minute, and the length of the Dayton players. You get lazy on anything, and lazy might be too much of a derogatory term, but you get slack just for a moment, and they can take advantage and go score from it.
Redbird's going to stay in that zone. Sanford for 3. Missed it. Long rebound. Boy, Scoochie Smith thought it was coming right back to him, and Hunter tipped it away.
Scoochie Smith made a freshman mistake. He waited for the ball to come to him instead of he going to it.
Knight stripped, lost it, out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Dayton.
Once again, he went too far on his penetration. You got to recognize when the big man has proper spacing. If he's not on you, you can't create a space. You can't create contact. So instead of trying to make something out of nothing, you got to kick it. Kick it out and let your perimeters either reverse it or shoot it. Deflection right there by Hunter.
Here's Kavanaugh, works on Lynch.
I think it's pretty evident that it's just get it inside and attack the rim, whether it's get it inside off a pass or off penetration.
Hunter penetrates, now finds Lynch up through it between his legs.
Well, it was a bad pass. You can't throw the ball down to the ankles of the big man and expect him to play shortstop. You got to, they're big, so let's throw the ball up top where they're at. Get it up there, take advantage of that 6'10" frame of Reggie Lynch.
The opening moments of the second half, nowhere near the pace of the opening moments of the game. Still a 7-point Illinois State advantage. Dayton with the ball. Sanford spins and scores.
Very smooth looking move right there. There's no panic in the Dayton Flyers when they get behind. This is a big-time program. They've played a very challenging schedule for a reason. They're in a very challenging conference also. The Atlantic 10 is one of the best premier conferences there is. And they've been through tight ball games before. They've had to come from behind. They know what it's about.
Hard to believe that this team was picked 7th in the 13-team preseason poll. Lee the miss. Lynch the rebound.
What a play. What a play by that freshman. I love that kid, Kurt. We got 3 more years in Redbird land to watch that young man grow and mature. And he's not bad today.
Oliver.
Good cutoff there defensively by Wills. Traveled.
Reggie Lynch with an offensive board and stick back here. The Redbird faithful on their feet. Illinois State a 7-point advantage. 15:08 to go in this one. Illinois State is 0-8 against ranked teams at Redbird Arena. So looking for their first ever Redbird Arena victory against a ranked team. And so far, so good. A lot of basketball to be played, but right now Illinois State, Bob, is controlling the tempo. They've taken a good couple of punches from Dayton and have had an answer each time.
Kurt, you took the words right out of my mouth. The one thing that a coaching staff looks for is the resiliency of their team. And when you know a quality ball club and a program like the Dayton Flyers is going to deliver a blow to you, how do you respond? Redbirds have shown some promise in that area tonight, I think. And all of the upgrading of the schedule that Coach Muller has done with it has brought this about. We're seeing the fruition of what they've done in this game tonight. It's really been enjoyable to watch.
Ball's going to go on Jordan Seibert as he's bodying up on Lofton.
After the timeout, that was a set play to isolate Zach Lofton. Haven't seen that play all night, and yet they get it and draw the foul, just what they were hoping to do. This is going up.
To Lynch.
Great pass by Lofton. His IQ is very high. Basketball IQ I'm referring to is very high. We see it here. He's got a post player that came out, so he knows there's a smaller man switched on Reggie Lynch, so he forces the pass. They didn't close out close enough to prevent him from making the entry pass. Lynch knew to go right to the rim, and he took advantage of the mismatch on the entry pass.
That was 6'4" Seibert trying to guard 6'10" Lynch.
Bingo. I'm not very smart, but I believe I could make that happen. Not very smart, not very talented, but I could get that ball into that size disadvantage.
Lynch can't cash in on either foul shot. We're seeing Kari Price back in the game for Dayton for the first time in a long time. Good entry pass. Oliver, kick out. Good ball movement. Extra pass from Dayton, and there is the aforementioned Price. Knocked down the three. He's a 44% shooter from beyond the arc.
Well, he's been their floor leader throughout the season, and he has not had one of his better games up to this point. He's been setting so they can make a point to him. It's time for you to rise to the occasion. They put him back in the game, and that's what he did on that last possession. Bump right there. Attack, attack, attack. The defense is slow getting back. Then when they attack, you're not in position. You have to sprint to get back in transition defense.
Now Nick Zeisloff's going to come back in. He'll replace Tony Wills. Last two offensive possessions, a couple in a row now for Dayton, are much more fluid than what they've shown early on. Price has got the hot hand. He's knocked down consecutive three balls.
I believe they had the proper conversation with him while he was sitting out over there. He came back with the mentality of that I'm going to take over. Now let's see how ISU answers.
He is such an improved shooter. You're right, the Redbirds need to come back, and they get a three from Kaysa Keene.
Not what Kaysa Keene's noted for, but the Birds will take it. He was wide open. Again, it was a penetrating dribble and a kick out to an open shooter.
He's shot the three pretty well this year. 5 out of 8 now from the three-point line, and that's a three. Both teams are raining threes. That's Seibert.
Seibert is known for that. We've talked about it. He's a 52% shooter from beyond the arc, and when he gets it rolling, look out, mama. He can make it happen.
Lynch travel.
Oh, he did. He had a drop step in there. If it had just gone straight, he had it. He knew what to do with it. Just got a little bit in a hurry. Again, a freshman. He's 18. That big hunk of a body is only 18 years old. Woo.
And the Dayton Flyers can shoot for their first lead of the night on this possession. Oliver finds Sanford, 10 on the clock. His shot is in, and the Flyers have their first lead.
That's their third consecutive three-point make.
Lofton's going to try and answer, and he does. That's a two-point shot, and Dan Muller calls timeout this time.
Excellent timeout for the same reason Archie Miller had a good timeout on go. It kills the opponent's momentum, and you can talk positively in the huddle to your team.
Hey, Valley fans, don't miss the newest addition to Arch Madness, the MVC Fan Hangout, presented by Frontier Communications. The MVC Fan Hangout is located at the Sheridan St. Louis City Center. That's 1 block from the Scott Trade Center. With music, games, and drink, it's the perfect gathering place. For additional information, you can visit archmadness.com/fans. Well, the Flyers have erased a 10-point deficit. And you mentioned, Bob, 3 consecutive free balls. This one from Sanford from the corner.
Well, and that's not what they came in here wanting to do. On the other end, we see Lofton going up. A good shot. Nobody's in his face, uncontested, and it's in his range. It's not a, that's the kind of shot Zach Lofton should be taking.
The shooting is picked up. Both teams now, the last 5 possessions, all perimeter jumpers have gone in.
Out of bounds. Penetrated once too far. One dribble too far.
Seibert stepped down the baseline.
To go a little further real quickly on what I'd said, that Dayton did not come in here wanting to be a three-point shooting ball club, but they've really not been given much other chance. The Redbirds have packed it in and have been so active on the inside when they try to penetrate by slapping balls away and creating turnovers that they've been left with no choice but to crank up some threes. They found some success recently with it. It'll be interesting to see what they can do as the game progresses.
Zeisloff for 3. That's in.
That's what he can do. LaGrange High School. Nick Zeisloff. He's an assassin from behind the line.
Good hands that time as Kaysa Keene stepped in the passing lane to knock it away. The Redbirds have reclaimed the lead. 11:48 to go in regulation. 53-50, Illinois State.
Ladies and gentlemen, men's basketball in Rockville will once again rock the arena.
Warmed up Redbird Arena tonight, and Illinois State has a 3-point lead, and the Redbirds have given them something to be excited about here tonight.
Oh, no question. It's an exciting brand of basketball that Coach Moeller and his staff has brought to their Redbird country, and you're seeing it take place tonight. The labors of their work has been shown here this evening. They've gone through some growing pains getting to this point. And sometimes fans want it to happen instantly, but it takes time when it's an accumulative effort. They have been patient with the players have been patient with each other, and now they're starting to see it pay off. Can you finish out a game of this nature? That becomes the next challenge. They haven't had a challenge of this nature in this season. This is a top 25 team in the country. Can you finish the game against them? That really, from this point on, becomes challenging.
Stanford gets a shot off before the shot clock expires. It's no good, and the Redbirds get a stop.
Great defensive sequence coming out of the timeout right there. Played it for the entire possession and then finished it with a strong rebound by Lofton. Oh, great pass.
Inside to Lynch this time.
Great pass. Caught Lynch rolling to the low block. His man was on the high side. Great lead assist in there by Zeitloff.
Redbirds have scored the game's last 7 points and lead it by 5. Nice pass inside, a missed dunk. A missed jam by Devin Scott. The ball rolled off the top of the backboard and out of bounds.
We're going to see the previous shot made by the Redbirds on the roll down by Lynch and the great entry pass by Nick Zeisloff. Good finish. Good entry, good finish. Then we saw the missed dunk. That can almost be demoralizing. Let's drop an infield fly in baseball or dropping a touchdown pass. It just really bothers you as a player.
Lofton.
Oh! He's got another level, Kurt, that not many have. He's good. He's good. He's going to be a name people hear about.
Scott, that is his third.
And the foul is on Scott. That's his third foul. Lofton got a step on him and he's working on the left side.
Remember, there's no seniors on this Illinois State squad. This is a team that's going to be around for a while. They're going to be here for a while, and people are going to get to know this. Now, I don't want to be a naysayer here, but they're going to have up and downs this year. They're a squad that's learning. Tonight, they're showing what this potential can lead to and where it can go. But it isn't going to be an every night thing this season. The next couple of seasons, I think the Missouri Valley Conference is going to see a Redbird team they haven't seen in quite a while. Because they've also got a couple of young men sitting out this season being redshirted that are pretty darn good.
Lofton with 12 points now as he split the free throws. Stanford down to Robinson, was checked back in the game, and Jalen Robinson missed the short turnaround. Now it's Keene to Lofton. His open shot is missed.
It was there. Wide open look, and that's the guy you want taking it. They're basically doing a 4-around-1 zone offense with a high post flash.
Oliver, tough move. Score and a foul.
Boy, that was a strong move with his left hand. Attracted the defender Lynch to him and got him to slap. If Lynch just disciplines himself and goes straight up, there's no foul involved. We see him here bust out of the trap, left-handed.
Number 5.
And again, if Lynch just maintains his position and goes straight up, that's not going to be called a foul. But as soon as that arm comes down, contact or not, it's automatic. That's twice that's happened to him. He's got to learn that as his career progresses.
And Lynch has now picked up his third foul. Back to a 3-point Illinois State lead.
What a basketball game, Kurt. This is fun.
Good hands by the Flyers. Come away with a steal on the Zeisloff pass. Now in transition, it's Scoochie Smith threw it up and in.
I was told Scoochie Smith doesn't do very many things that look pretty. All he does is get results, and that was an example.
9 points for the freshman from New York. Hunter steps inside the arc and hits the jump shot.
Right now you got two heavyweights just exchanging blows. Shot for shot, and they're good shots. I mean, they're being well defended on both ends.
And a steal. Hunter with the quick hands. He's got Keza Keene on his left, and he's fouled before he can get it to Keene. Hunter with a couple of big plays, starting with this bucket.
Watch the shot fake. Young basketballers out there, remember that. A shot fake and a defender flying at you. Take one dribble and you're getting a wide open look.
Had a coach recently tell me that the shot fake might be the most misused play out there. Nobody's using the shot fake anymore, huh?
Exactly, because the three-point line, for all the benefits it's brought to the game, it has created a lot of quick shots, and they're forgetting the shot fake and penetrate one dribble because they want to get that three-point attempt up.
Nice night for this man, Dayton Knight. 14 points and 5 rebounds.
And it's, again, the shots that he's taken are good shots. The baskets he's made are being made because they're coming through the works of the offense. He's not throwing up bad shots that happen to be going in. He's having a good night.
And the first points of the second half now for Knight, who is the game's leading scorer with 16 points.
We talked about can the Redbirds answer. I think right now they're answering. They're hanging. They're with the lead that they've had, and they just keep making the things miserable for the Flyers. Now you got to rebound it.
Three is missed by Davis. Now quickly back at the floor, the Redbirds. Lynch. Spins.
What a play!
And score.
What a play! Oh my goodness! 6'10", 240. He looked like a ballerina.
And once again, the Redbirds have answered a Dayton run with their own run.
Exactly. And Redbird Arena is in an uproar. The fans are appreciating the effort displayed by the Birds.
Robinson again.
Mishandled it initially, but stuck with it, went down, picked it up, and challenged Lynch and got it in.
This time he finished. That's his first bucket of the night. And it's Dayton Knight. He penetrates and scores from the left.
The one thing the Flyers have been able to do the last couple of times is enter the ball into the middle off the pass. The top side guard out of this two, right there, they did it again.
And it's off of Dayton and Illinois State basketball. Officials, timeout. Reggie Lynch is going to roll one in for the Redbirds. He gets a rebound on one end, and he's going to finish on the other. Lynch and the Redbirds lead the Dayton Flyers 64-57. 7 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in regulation here at Redbird Arena. It's Illinois State 64 and Dayton 57. And the Redbirds with the basketball.
The Redbirds have garnered their energy tonight, I believe, from their defensive efforts.
Zeisloff around the screen and a three.
What a set out of a timeout to get a shooter the shot. Coach Muller was even smiling on that success.
Zeisloff with his second three-point make of the half, and the Redbird lead is 10, and now a steal. It's Hunter. Knight's feeling it. Offensive rebound, Zeisloff. There is Lee for three.
Oh, that would have got the house down, but you can't get caught up in a missed shot. You got to get back on defense.
And Archie Miller wants to talk things over again. The NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship comes to St. Louis. Experience it live and catch second and third round March Madness action at the Scott Trade Center, March the 21st and 23rd. The host, the Missouri Valley Conference. All session tickets start at $198. Visit ncaa.com/MVB tickets to make a date with champions.
Watch the screen set right there by Deshaun Knight for the shooter, Nick Zeisloff. Boom. Comes off, ready to catch and shoot. No dribble required on that delivery. Great pass, great screen, great shot. Good execution from a timeout. That's how come the Redbirds have been able to answer every blow the Flyers have thrown at them.
The Redbirds on an 11-2 run in the last 2.5 minutes.
Energy. That's what the Redbirds have displayed tonight from start to finish.
Kavanaugh's double teamed. He put it on the floor and got it stripped.
Zach Lofton started it. Jones was involved. And Bobby Hunter ended up with it and decided to go the length of the floor and draw a foul. Again, energy and activity out of that zone defense. It has just created havoc for the Dayton Flyers.
The Redbird defense has forced 16 Dayton turnovers here tonight.
Up to this point, the Flyers have not shown that lack of ability to handle different defenses. They don't turn the ball over. That is not what the Dayton Flyers do. That's why I'm saying that this is such an incredible defensive display by the Redbirds.
Hunter now in double figures with 10. Illinois State with its largest lead at 12 points. Sanford, 10 on the clock. Bryce, rimmed out.
Big possession right there, that was for the Redbirds on the defense.
Knight's going to try to take it himself. It was a tie-up, and they're going to call it a tie-up, and the possession arrow favors the Flyers.
Yeah, and I believe that was an accurate call. I don't see any reason to be disappointed or upset. The thing that happened on that was, once again, we got a little over anxious, went too far in the dribble on the penetration. Stop one dribble before and make a kick out.
Seibert steps inside the arch and knocks down the jumper.
That's why he was initially a Big Ten recruit. Young man doesn't ever look flustered out there. Seibert's big time.
11 points now for Seibert. He averages 13 and a half, and now a whistle on Dayton.
Again, Zach Lofton understanding the moment that he's in. They switched on the ball screen. Kavanaugh cannot stay with him. He takes it at him, draws the contact, knowing Kavanaugh can't get out of his way and create defensive spacing.
To the line, for your Redbirds, number 23.
Zach Lofton to the free throw line.
They said he wasn't shooting, which I don't know what else would he have been in the air for. Now it's a 1-and-1 instead of 2. If you make this one, it really doesn't matter. You're going to get a second and 10.
Again, we bring up the point that Dayton trailed Gonzaga by 16 and rallied to beat the 10th-ranked team in the country. So this game is far from being decided, despite the fact that the Redbirds have a double-digit advantage with 5 minutes left in this one. Hunter comes away with a strip. Bobby Hunter all the way down, laid it in.
Oh, my. Defensive intensity. Bobby Hunter. What a strip and a score. Has the fans are on feet.
Another steal, and he's going to give it up tonight. He tries to attack from the right, and he's going to get to the free throw line.
Bobby Hunter and Coach Muller exchanging high fives on the sideline. Coach appreciates Hunter's execution on the defensive end.
And so do the fans. They're on their feet.
Everybody in Redbird Arena on their feet, displaying the respect that the Redbirds have earned in this game.
Number 0, Price.
We see it right here. There was the strip, the steal, and the score. Can't relax. Redbirds cannot relax. You can't get comfortable with the lead against a team like the Dayton Flyers. They've been down this road. They're going to keep attacking. The Redbirds have to maintain their level of intensity till this buzzer sounds to end the game.
A 20-point game for Deshaun Knight. Kavanaugh is wrapped up, and that's John Jones picking up his 4th foul. 3:55 to go. Illinois State 74, 25th ranked Dayton 59. And Bobby Hunter is doing it on the defensive end.
To beat top 25 teams, you have to play rock-solid defense. Bobby Hunter has done that tonight, created havoc for the Flyers of Dayton, gotten steals and turned them into points.
5 steals for Bobby Hunter. The Redbirds have 9 steals for the game. And again, Hunter, the defensive player of the game, brought to you by Bratcher Heating and Air, making home comfortable again. Learn more ways on how to defend your home against the elements by visiting BratcherComfort.com. The Redbird defense has forced Dayton into a season-high 18 turnovers tonight.
That says it all right there, how active and intelligent the Redbird defense has been.
Stanford left open, his 3.
Got a rebound to finish a game out. You can't give up easy putbacks. That time the Birds secured it once again. 3.5 minutes from one of the biggest wins in recent history of Redbird basketball. Now the Redbirds are content to, instead of a high-intensity attack, they want to run a little clock.
Lofton with 7 on the shot clock. Spins, forced up a shot, didn't get anything that time.
Should have had a kick. Zeisloff was in the left corner.
Here's Kavanaugh. In transition and timeout Dayton.
Kavanaugh, 2.
Immediately timeout. Good timeout by Archie Miller to get his team collected and understand what they got to do with 2:58 remaining.
Dayton timeout, 30 seconds.
So Dayton has cut the lead now down to 13. 2:58 to go. 74-61 Illinois State. What's going on in both these huddles here, Bob?
Well, right now, let's start with Illinois State, because when we come back out of this, they're going to be on offense. Illinois State cannot do what they just did in the last possession. One player handled the ball the entire possession. That hasn't happened all night. That isn't what got them this lead. So they have to rely, you can run clock with ball movement and player movement. That's what they have to do. From Dayton is going to try to apply pressure. They've got to make the Redbirds play offense the full 94 feet and try to create turnovers. How the Redbirds handle that pressure will determine the outcome of this game, I believe.
A couple of freshmen from Chicago checked in for Dayton, Kendall Pollard and Kyle Davis. Hunter's running the baseline, and he gets it back in. Redbirds do a nice job of breaking pressure.
Nothing to going towards the basket, so they pulled it back out to run clock. If you break your press and you got something going to the basket, you can attack it, and that's smart. If you don't have, which they didn't that time, you bring it out.
Knight penetrates, stripped, good defense. It was Kavanaugh who got his hand on it now, quickly back on the other end. Seibert all the way down, and now a 3-point play opportunity for him.
The worst case scenario for the Redbirds right there. A turnover with no shot attempt, a quick transition basket and a foul, stops the clock, scores points for the Flyers. Again, I talked about this is a hurdle that this particular team for the Redbirds, they haven't been here yet where they've an upset. They haven't had a good quality team on the ledge. Now, how do you deliver that knockout blow? They ran good clock down here, but they're still trying one-on-one basketball at the end of the possession, and it hasn't worked twice. I would prefer that take it to the basket, take it to the rim, and kick out looking for your shooters. They've done a good job of it all night. Don't change now.
That foul on John Jones is his 5th. So he has fouled out with just 2 points tonight. So Jones has just 15 points in his last 4 games. After the missed free throw, Lynch went down to the floor and he got it and he lost it, and it's Price who comes up with it. So it winds up being a 4-point possession for Dayton. And the Redbirds are having trouble getting the ball in bounds and have to burn a timeout.
Which is okay. They have 3. Lynch, once again, got schooled right there. The young man, as a freshman, gets lessons every night out. On that missed free throw, he's got to go up and get that and make him break an arm to get it away from him. They slapped it, they got it, and they got a bucket from it.
You know, Dayton has ripped off 6 quick points and really knocked down a 15-point deficit down to 9.
Exactly, just like that. We talked about it. It was 3.5 minutes, and the Birds were up, I believe it was 15. And now it's down to 9 and 2:12 left on the clock. Now, the Birds can't panic. They're still up 9 points. For crying out loud, if they hit 3 3-pointers, it's still only a tie game. So the Redbirds have got to finish. They got to stay calm. They got to stay cool. They've got to understand when and when not to attack. And they've got to play better defense, transitional defense.
Still a lot of time left with 2:12 here. Hunter to Trigger, runs the baseline, looking for help again. Gets it into Zeisloff to Hunter. Nice touch pass ahead to Paris Lee. And now we'll see how much clock the Redbirds run here.
Again, the Redbirds need this kind of experience. How to play with the lead against a quality team isn't something that you just wake up and understand how to do. They know how to attack you defensively. You see a jump trap right there.
In trouble in the corner. Hunter's going to try to flip it out. He gets it tonight with 3 on the shot clock. He shoots over Price and missed it.
Now they got to make Dayton run clock themselves by playing quality defense.
Price catching fire. Airballed it, but Pollard's there to score.
Didn't go get it. Created the bad shot attempt, but then didn't follow it up with a rebound.
Blocking foul right at midcourt. That's on Seibert.
That's kind of a good thing for the Redbirds right now. They're running around kind of like a scared rabbit at the moment, trying to finish this game out. And this puts them at a position where they've had success tonight at the free throw line. Now, Paris Lee, who has been very good all season at the line, needs to step up and finish and give a little bit of a cushion back to the Birds.
Lee's free throw snaps an 8-0 run by Dayton. And if you take a look at the stat line, you see that Paris Lee is just 1 out of 3 from the field, but that doesn't really tell you what he's contributed here tonight.
There's a reason he's in at the end of the game in a game of this magnitude. There's a reason he's at the free throw line right now. They inbound the ball to their freshman point guard and said, get it up the floor, folks. And if he can't get up the floor, you got to foul him to stop him, and he's going to go to the free throw line and knock down free throws when he's there.
He split them, and so it's a 75-67 Illinois State lead, 1:10 to go. Seibert trying to make some room. Now it's Stanford on the baseline. He hangs and fires and scores. Dayton has scored 10 of the game's last 12 points. Now Lofton's in trouble in the corner, and he threw it away. Price is there. He can't get it to go. Hunter comes away with it.
Bobby Hunter, again, what a play by Bobby Hunter. He just said, no, no, no. Nobody's taking this away from me.
That was a significant defensive rebound because, as you mentioned, Bob, right now the Redbirds are fluttering a little bit here. And they've had a little hole in the dike here that they've got to stop.
Well, they're going to. I have total confidence. It's just kind of I mean, this is what you expect out of this kind of a game, Kurt. You've got a quality. I mean, they're 25th in the nation for a reason. They don't want to give it up. They didn't come to Normal, Illinois tonight to lose what they've spent the last 6 weeks earning. And they're going down with a fight. And they know how to fight. That's the important thing.
Yeah, the Flyers ranked nationally for the first time in 4 years. Again, we mentioned the impressive win over Gonzaga. Have a win over Georgia Tech this year. Ran Cal out of the building out there in Maui.
Bobby Hunter.
Those were huge. Bobby Hunter with a huge defensive rebound and 2 huge free throws.
7-point Illinois State lead. Seibert, deep three. Missed it. Long rebound. Davis comes down with it and scores. He went right around Lofton.
He was afraid to foul. He didn't want to do anything that would stop the clock and foul. There's your open man.
And it's night ahead to Nick Zeisloff.
That's keeping your head up, looking down the floor. There was no panic in the Redbirds there.
Now it's Sanford spinning, and he scores.
As much good defense as we've seen tonight, right now nobody's stopping anybody. Let's take a look here. We're seeing the pressure by Dayton, the inbound pass, and the look ahead. And wide open Nick Zeisloff. That's how committed Dayton is to their pressure right now. All 5 guys were on the defensive end of the court.
Well, that was really an interesting catch right in front of us here that Bobby Hunter had to come down with, first of all, to get the ball up the floor. Because right now, there have been a couple of times where the Redbirds have almost turned the ball over in the backcourt. They have turned it over in the backcourt.
That's exactly right. So, you got to, find a way to calm down, settle down, and get the ball into the hands of the correct people. Now, I've talked about how the freshman Paris Lee is what the staff would like, who they'd like to have control the ball right now. But Dayton understands that also. They're denying Paris Lee from getting the ball. They're face guarding him on the inbound, so it's next to impossible for him to take it. This is a great learning experience and a huge stepping stone for the Redbirds tonight. To go against a quality team that is well coached and deserving of their ranking, and to play the Redbirds to play as they are from start to finish, this is a huge step in the positive direction for Redbird basketball.
Illinois State trying to protect a 6-point advantage with 26.1 seconds remaining. And it's going to be Lee to inbounds. We mentioned earlier that the Redbirds are 0 of 8 against ranked teams at Redbird Arena. They're trying to snap that streak as there's a foul in the front court.
Well, from this point on, the Redbirds are going to do nothing but shoot free throws, because once it gets past midcourt, Dayton is going to foul them immediately. So now it becomes Redbirds finish the game off at the foul line. Can they make them all? Or at least make enough to win? And Bobby Hunter says, yes, I can. Nothing but net.
It's hard to believe that just a few moments ago this was a 15-point game, and now these free throws have become paramount.
It's back to 8. With 20 seconds left, you got to believe it's where it needs to be.
Sanford hits the floater, and again the Redbirds are forced to inbound it quickly and try to break pressure. The Redbirds are fouled in the backcourt, and again it's Paris Lee who's going to come down with 14.9 to go. And a couple of free throws here would be really, really big.
That's his 4th foul.
I believe that's 2 free throws also. I believe they're in the double bonus at this point. Yep.
Well, the Redbirds' victory a couple of weeks ago over Northwestern was their first against a Big Ten team in 9 years. And again, since this building was built in 1989, Illinois State has yet to beat a non-conference, a ranked team. So they're trying to exercise that demon here tonight.
It's never easy, and we're witnessing that. Good things don't come easy.
He missed them both. It's a 2-possession game. Sanford all the way down, floater, missed. Ball is loose, tied up, possession arrow, Illinois State. 7.1 to go, and the Redbirds have the basketball.
Now you got to get the ball in bounds. That becomes a lot easier said than done. And when you get it in bounds, you have to be strong, because you know they're going to attack you. They're going to slap, hack, and foul you, trying to get a loose ball. If I'm looking long right here, I'm breaking somebody deep to the Redbird basket. Just hold it. There you go. It's over, folks.
Hunter breaks the pressure. Yep, Illinois State with a big, big non-conference victory, and the students are storming the floor. 81-75, Illinois State over 25th ranked Dayton.
A well-deserved win. Redbirds deserved to win the game. They played better than the Flyers tonight, and they had a little faults at the end, but that's a part of the learning curve.
Big-time celebration ongoing on the floor here at Redbird Arena. Illinois State's first victory over a ranked team in Redbird Arena history. Time now to select our Meyer player of the game, and it's Dayshawn Knight. And what a night Dayshawn Knight had. 20 points on 7 of 17 shooting, made all 5 of his free throws, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists for Knight. The junior from Baltimore, and Illinois State is celebrating a victory in part because of what Dayshawn Knight did. Today's player of the game brought to you by Meyer. Top brands at low prices. Shop and save at Meyer.com. Dan Muller, the head coach of the Redbirds, has joined us courtside. When you see this student body out on the floor celebrating a top 25 victory, it's got to make you feel good.
Good how we played. Our guys really competed, executed. We're getting better. I'm happy for our students. Our student section was great. I wish we could have shaken hands again. That's just a coaching thing. But really, really, really proud of my team and excited about how hard we're starting to compete.
And the defensive effort tonight in that zone worked wonders against a very, very good Dayton club.
I'll tell you what, they had 4 straight threes in a row at one point in the second half. And you take that out, we really guarded well, and those were deep. And I didn't mind that. We were going to be committed to it. Our guys picked up. We changed our scouting report a little bit once they hit those because they hadn't hit them yet. And we just played unselfish. We played competitive. We played with an attacking mindset. It's awesome.
Dan, one of the things I know in coaching you always try to instill into your players is execution with excitement.
Yeah.
I think you got that tonight.
Well, we got it, and we talked about guys were at that optimum level tonight. Came out, really played well from the jump, got a big lead, which was nice, and we just kept competing. They hit us in the mouth a couple times, and we're starting to just keep playing.
That was the most impressive thing, I think, to me was they did. They smacked you. That's a quality ball club.
Oh,
they're not ranked 25th by a fluke.
Hey.
And you guys responded every time.
Hey, listen, that team should have beat Baylor, who beat Kentucky, that beat Gonzaga. I tell you what, that Archie Miller's doing a heck of a job. This is a very, very
so
good
are you, buddy. So are you.
Well, yeah. my players are really buying in, and we're getting better in practice and showing.
Go celebrate with your team.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Proud of you
Dan
guys.
Muller, the head coach of the Illinois State Redbirds, which have beaten a top 25 team for the first time in Redbird Arena history. Illinois State 81 and Dayton 75. For my broadcast partner, Bob Morris, and for our entire Niles Media sports team, this is Kurt Pegler. Illinois State 81 and Dayton 75. The final from Redbird Arena in Normal. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. If you're an Illinois State fan, we know you enjoyed the outcome. Good night from Normal, Illinois.